Hey, good morning to you. It's Daybreak at iFiber One News Radio. I'm Jeff Slakey. Hope you're having a good start to your day. I was out at the Cameo Boutique for their joint after-hours party last week. Ran into the Woytowiches, and they've been doing a lot of great work in the community off and on, of course, for years, and we've talked with them on the air here. But they got a new big project they're working on. So says, hey, come on in. Great time to talk about it. Let's say good morning to Mark and Linda Woytowich. Morning, gang.
Good morning. Thank
Good
you.
morning.
Thanks for coming on the air with me. And you are in the works of a big project to kind of talk about and focus on the great things happening in the Belfair area. Is that what I'm to understand here?
Yeah, very much so. North Mason, Allen, Grapeview, Belfair. Really, a lot of the coverage extends right on down to Union. The whole upper part of the canal, which is an area that I was not super familiar with. We live in Potlatch, and I do a lot of exploring in the Olympics. So this area, in some ways, has been new to me. A lot of the people have been new to me, and it's sort of a drilling down into the community for what looks really good on video. I mean, there's beauty everywhere,
sure,
but you time it. There's morning shots, evening shots. When to be in the right place at the right time to really bring out the beauty in an area is a challenge. And so I'm doing that as well as meeting people and the context. Everything has to work in one big picture here, which is it is a video that is being promoted by the Economic Development Council in Mason County. So it is a business recruitment video.
Okay.
And so, but under that, we've had many strategy sessions sitting there. Well, what is going to bring business to the area? And it's like any place in our country. People need to assume it's attractive, or you need to be putting things out there that make it attractive. That people wonder, well, why not? Let's check this out. It looked really good to me. That once those questions start in a potential business person's mind, then you're kind of halfway there, because then they want to begin exploring. So we're interviewing people about why they live there, why they want to live there, and some of the stories that are coming out with, like Gary Hansen, for instance, at Cameo. He handed me a photo that they had found and they had blown up. He was 5 years old in the photo, and he's up against the stoop of the old country store there that's across from the Two Margaritas. And so there he is with his little brother many, many years ago in a black and white, and he presented a story of how he'd been everywhere. He'd been to college, off, living other places, but he had roots and connections back here when the opportunities arose to buy a house here, and he's done it like 3 times. They've reinvested, and now they've got this new place that they're just building on the canal. That is his joy to sort of be back in the place he always suspected was like home. And so it's a theme of home. And if you are a business person anywhere in this country and you feel like you love where you work and you love the drive home and you love being home, and you don't have to be in a McMansion. You don't have to have $1 million view, but if you have a place you like because of the quiet or quality, that's important. And if people can live and work in a place that they love, that's what we're trying to convey.
Are you finding that people are moving back after they've gone to school or spent some time away?
Yeah, we've found a few stories. There's one of the best ones, and I ran into her. I mean, this is how it works. I'm just at a booth at the Allen Days, and somebody's talking, and for some reason I found out that she was an exact case in point. She's 40, 42. She's that perfect age range we want. And she said, yeah, we're going to be building properties right over here on Sherwood Creek in Allen. And it's land, it's been in my family for ages, and now we're going to put a brand new house on it, take down an old house, the old homestead, and put 2 with my sister and I living side by side. And I went, this is a great, and she goes, I've been dreaming, I've been doing this for, she's had her education elsewhere, has lived in the Seattle area, so, Southern California. So it's just been a great kind of story, and I actually pursued that. And that was where one of the real pieces of kind of crazy magic happened. Right in the middle of the interview, she suddenly like jerks her head up and she goes, "Oh my God, shh, shh." And I go, "What?" She kind of cut me off. And she goes, "There's a heron. A heron just landed behind you." And I'm like, "You got to." And it took me a second because she's trying to whisper not to scare the heron. And before I could get my camera turned around, because we're right in the moment, it took off, but I was able to see it. And truly, this heron, there was a little pond on the property, and it landed right behind us in the middle of the interview, which made my point. I mean, she was talking about how livable and how beautiful nature, and all of a sudden,
and there's nature right there.
And it was, and that's the kind of thing that's happening. I think I include that on the end of the snippet I gave you, which is just audio, but and it's probably subtle for audio, but those are the kind of things I'm trying to bring out in this piece. Now, I think what's going to happen is we're going to have a 5 or 6 minute, by the letter of the law, your business recruitment video. But because of all the people I've contacted, and I tend to work long, I tend to really cover things well, I think we're also going to sort of have 30 minutes left over. That's all really good.
Wow.
That should become sort of more of a community story. And one of the things, I haven't made all my connections yet, but I'm going to talk to the superintendent, Dana Rosenbach, up at North Mason Schools, and I would love to capture the footage of the opening game at the new stadium, the new school, because again, I ask people, well, why is it a good time now to open a business in this area? Well, the highway is done as of today. We snipped the ribbon, and new schools, and those are just 2 reasons. There's many, many more that I've been hearing of. So to have that actual game and just, the helmets, the lights, the bands playing, the national anthem, that sort of stuff is what we all really experience and relate to. Do you need it in a, business recruitment video? No, probably not. But if it is in there, then everybody in America goes, "Oh yeah, we all relate to football, fall, pumpkins, So I'll be shooting through the end of September, and I hope to be getting some of that fall footage. And so when this comes out, we'll have the letter of the law with the smaller video, but I think we're going to have a 30, 40 minute, I don't know how long. Certainly I don't want it to be long and bore anybody. And at the same time, I'm hoping it's true enough and exciting. And exciting is almost a strong word for this, but what I think is going to happen is people are going to reflect on what other people are saying, and it's going to affirm that, I like it here too. Darn, and it's really good to hear that and hear it from so many people, and they're going to relate to many of the people on the list.
Sure.
And then they're going to go, man. And then because things take a groundswell, they often are always behind where the creative artist is. Finally, 3 years behind, everybody starts going, yeah, this is right. We all agree now. But that's what you need, are those tipping points. And so if I can play a role in that, where we have a tipping point in the community where it's like no more about is Belfair going to make it or not, or is the road helping, the new turn lane, the sidewalks? No, it is helping, absolutely. Look at where we are. Let's continue being proud and really continue going forward.
Let's take a listen to what you sent me here. We'll play it for you, the audio, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to Linda a little bit about some of the maybe unique places that she wasn't perhaps familiar with but got a chance to see. So this is just a quick sampler of some of the folks that Mark has spoken to.
Back in 2008, I believe, was kind of the time when things were really slowing down. And what did Olympia Federal do? We decided to recommit to Belfair and build a brand new LEED certified building, expand our services, expand the number of employees we had. And so we met that challenge and put it out to the community that we're here, we have the services, we're going to be here when things do come back around, when the housing market starts to recover, when businesses start to recover, and that's actually what has happened.
I'm Carrie Hicks. We're right off Sherwood Creek. In 1979, my parents moved out here from Seattle because they wanted the country life with access to everything else. So this is now being marketed to everybody in Seattle as a good alternative, and I have a lot of friends that moved out here that work in Sammamish. work in Bellevue, and they're doing the commute time. But what you get when you move out here is more space, better quality of people. You have a lot better things to do on the weekends. There's not 4,000 people crammed into a restaurant for a weekend.
We want to explore this gorgeous estuary that we live on right here, the Great Bend as it's known. The canal being shaped as a giant fishhook, about 75 miles long, a natural fjord. We are part of Puget Sound, but we like to hold ourselves a bit separate as Hood Canal. I would say most tourists that come into the Cameo from all over the world actually are amazed at how quiet it is here, not heavily developed like urban areas, and the fact they're somewhat amazed that as the crow flies, we're 50 miles from downtown Seattle.
I've been running the Chamber of Commerce for 4 years now, and I can say that over these 4 years, every day in Belfair is like a canvas, and we have different people that are coming in to, I don't know, dedicate their time or their work to making Belfair a better place, and it's happening. And I think the biggest excitement is it's all coming, and it's all coming right now. There's a new sort of robust energy that's coming about. I can't quite even describe it. I'm just so enthusiastic about what's going to happen. It's sort of like opening night at a play.
Talk about your journey out in the world.
There's a blue heron that just landed in the field. Look at that. Sorry. It's so big.
So that's the nature that you were talking about there. Wow, that caught me on the edge of my seat. I recognize some of those voices, and pretty cool deal that you got going on.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it's so much more fun to get it to the editing stage. I enjoy the pursuit of it, and talking about it maybe not so much. I still get nervous in how to present it in the way I think I want people to perceive it. But then you edit, you have people react to it, and one of the things I've been able to do, and I don't want to sound boastful here, but I have been able to create those kinds of videos, and I'm very much a homegrown one-man show. I don't have $1 million equipment in the world's greatest lens or camera, but I try to work with people and get to the core, and often the emotional core of why they're doing what they're doing or what the project is about, and then present it in a way that when a group of people see it, I've been able to get people, to cry because a theme is, a winner is finally winning, or we're losing something environmentally or whatever that we all really love and respect. And so to rally people and touch them on the heart, I guess is the phrase, that's great if I can do that. And it really, I never know until it's in the editing. Music is you can see the music's role in that.
It really
piece.
helps.
So it's a joy to be trusted and be hired to do that, and kind of gain a niche in that. The short documentary, and the hometown heroes, the things that CNN's never going to come here and do that. Fox News isn't going to come here and do this, but I will.
Burns maybe someday.
Maybe someday. Linda, let me bring you into this here before we had to let you guys go. We have another thing to get to with the ribbon cutting and that. What are some of the things? Are you familiar? Have you been familiar with some of the things in the North End?
We've been familiar with Belfair since we moved to the county, but not in a very up close and personal way. And this is a big enough county where it's easy to be kind of isolated in your bubble.
Yeah.
And that's natural. People are busy. So the coolest thing about this has been to see that Mark go through this cycle, like, I'm not sure if there's really a story here. And then pretty soon he's interviewing more people and like, wow, there's really something going on here. And then further down the road, like this variety of players playing together, and the sense of kind of hope from seeing like Mark dig deeper, like that. What his strength is, finding his story where maybe it doesn't look like there's much story going on, and then go deep, and then really, as he says, make it have heart with it. Well, that's true. I mean, that's true. Whenever you get to know something much better than you can, so he gets to know it, but his gift as a storyteller comes out with his camera, and they're able to link it together and get people to from outside or even inside of the community to get to know each other better. So we'll see, but I'm really excited and optimistic.
Mark Woytowich, Mark and Linda Woytowich here, Woytowich Designs. You can find them online at woytowichdesign.com, and we'll keep bringing you back, keeping us updated on some of the things. We have a newscast now to get to, but you guys, thanks for coming on the air.
Thank you, Jeff.
Good job.
Good to see you guys.